I got fired! I got me fired from my job! I woke up and told my God this shit from the Charlie Kirk shit from yesterday. What the f? So y'all got me fired from my job.
You're fired! Get out! You're fired!
I just had to block all of my friends.
So I've lost my job.
I was just fired from my job! I was just fired from my job!
So I was just fired from my job.
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail. You know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about this dicey topic of leftists who were celebrating when Charlie Kirk was murdered. They were going to these here social media streets, celebrating, and then come and find out they go to work the next day and they got fired. Let me say something before we jump into here. You do not have to put everything on social media. I don't understand why, if you felt some kind of way about Charlie Kirk, why did you have to go put it on social media? If you got fired from your job, why do you have to put that on social media? If you're crying about a breakup with your boyfriend or your dog got ran over by a unicycle, why are you putting it on social media? Why do you have to do that? It's not necessary. I know it seems almost like everything must be put out there, but it doesn't have to be. And truly, in my thought process, this is what you get because you put everything out there on the social media. It doesn't have to be there. You really, truly, nobody required you to get on and tell me what you thought about Charlie Kirk. Nobody did. You could have kept that 100% to yourself. And we wouldn't be having this conversation. But let's go ahead and see what happened. And let's dig into it. Let's go. I got me fired from my job. I woke up and told my... Can we stop normalizing grown men coming on, crying on TV, on camera? I've gotten emotional on camera before. I've held myself together and got off, or maybe I even did, one of these numbers so y'all wouldn't see me. But can we no longer normalize men getting on camera crying? And don't give me that they're in touch with their emotions foolishness either. That's not the case. Stop it. Stop it. It's 100% inappropriate. It's wrong. And that's why you're here, sir, because you're over here crying on the social media. Let's go. I got my rent. What the f? I thought y'all was going to give me finally. I did.
I have about as much sympathy for Charlie Kirk right now as I do for all those farmers across the country who want socialist handouts from the government right now. This is a man who hated the LGBTQ community, who hated women's rights, who hated democracy.
Let's also stop for a second. I'm going to try not to make this a long video. Real quick. Charlie Kirk's body of work is available on Turning Point right now. You can go see pretty much everything he's ever said and done. Do you want me to believe, Mr. Orange Shirt Man, that you have been studying Charlie Kirk and you know what Charlie Kirk said in context on these topics that you're speaking about? Do you want me to believe that? Or is it more reasonable to believe that you saw a hot take, you saw a clip, and you derived your understanding from there? Which one is more likely? Because I don't believe you even knew how to spell Kirk before last Wednesday. I just don't believe it. So let's finish up. Let's go.
Who thought that he was a big man because he went to college campuses and debated young college students and thought he proved how tough he was with his words that he studied ahead of time. What a piece of garbage. This is what happens. I'm curious if we're going to want to take guns away now from who will inevitably be the white man who shot and killed him. Bye, Charlie.
So y'all got me fired from my job.
You're fired! Get out! You're fired!
So I've lost my job.
You're fired! Get out! You're fired!
Fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my
These people are setting up cameras to record themselves crying about losing their job or getting called, being told that they're losing their jobs. They literally are setting up a camera to record that.
I was just fired from my job.
A few moments later.
I just had to block all of my friends because they just have such different political beliefs from me, and I thought that we were the type of friends who would live together someday after college and like stay in touch. I dropped out of school for these people.
Meet Haley Curdell, a 911 dispatcher from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hi, my name is Quinn Pratt, and I like going around on the internet finding people making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, and I go and report them to their employers so they get fired. And we got 5 more. We have sent out over 300 emails to employers, and we have gotten now 15 confirmed fires. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Gabrielle from Illinois, you're fired. Lincoln from Utah, you're fired. Amanda, another Amanda from Wyoming, you've been terminated. Suck it. Shasta from Washington State, your ass is fired. And Curtis, again from Texas. What the hell, Texans? Curtis from Texas, you've also been terminated. You're welcome. Now, truth being told, I've probably lost about 50,000 followers throughout all social medias while I'm doing this, but I would rather have every single one of my accounts hit 0 before I give in to these people. So if you want to try and affect me or affect my income by unfollowing me, I don't care. I would much rather go back to a 9-to-5 job than let this kind of shit slide.
There's a lot of teachers getting sent to the principal's office today. The social media warriors are doing the Lord's work. I've seen not 1, 2, or 3, I think 4 teachers have been fired because they were celebrating the death of a human being. And those people are working with your children. At this point, we have to agree that it's mental illness, right? Because nobody in their right mind with a job like that would get on the internet and make a public post celebrating the death of a public figure.
Let y'all get that. Assistant Dean of Students at MTSU has been fired effective immediately. Vile comments celebrating Charlie's death. Shout out to Libs of TikTok. Shout out. Great news. Marine Jacoby Williamson fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's demise by posting another racist man popped. Wow. This woman has just been fired. She worked at somewhere, a government-funded institution which provides legal advice to those who can't afford it. Wow. Breaking: Mark Savell was fired and removed from his position at the Las Vegas Realtors Board of Directors after celebrating Charlie Kirk's passing. Phoenix sports writer, professor, community hospital, university, another Office Depot.
Maybe you're glad Charlie Kirk is dead. Maybe you think he was racist, transphobic, xenophobic, hateful, and harmful to your community. Maybe you think the world is better off without him. I'm not going to tell you to feel sad, but I do want to show you where this is headed. Because when that assassin squeezed the trigger, they didn't just shoot at Charlie. They shot at all of us. Political violence is on the rise against leaders on both sides. Melissa Hortman, Paul Pelosi, Josh Shapiro, Donald Trump, and now Charlie Kirk. In every single one of these cases, there was someone absolutely convinced they were doing the right thing. Someone who found a way to justify physical violence. Someone who said, well, look at the other side. They were convinced by their black and white view of the world. Communist, fascist, far left, far right. Our opinions are subjective, but physical violence is real. Many of you disagree with the actions of our current government, which Charlie helped elect. That's understandable. But amidst your critiques of the government, don't forget this. Nature is governed by violence. For most of human history, disputes were settled by violence. Before civilization, in some places, 50% of people were murdered. Half the people behind me would kill the other half. That's why we gave governments, not individuals, the right to use force. But sometimes we find an individual so repulsive, we're convinced it's okay. Just this one time. I don't condone violence, but the statement begins. That but is a dark whisper. There should be no but. Everything after but is permission for the next bullet. Any political killing should be considered the highest threat. But we've become desensitized to violence. We think it's just pixels on a screen, so we judge people we don't know. Our tribe becomes a jury, and we applaud the executioner. But here's the thing. It's never just one bullet. The gun that is aimed at your enemy today gets aimed at you tomorrow. Suddenly, the cheers around you now become the silence around your own grave. This is why we must condemn everything that comes after but, even if it comes from our own side. Yet, we've become so arrogant, so certain we know the whole truth, that all the angels are in our tribe and all the demons are in theirs. We rage about media bias, yet worship our echo chamber. We are obese with knowledge, but starved for wisdom. The message that was sent by Charlie's assassin was clear. He was shot in the throat while speaking freely with those who disagreed and allowing them to do the same. He lived by the mic and died by the sword. This wasn't just an assassination. It was an attack on civilization. Our nation is held together by a thread, and that thread is fraying. The social fabric is tearing, and we must unite to weave it anew. We need humility to see not just the speck in the opponent's eye, but the log in our own. Because this isn't about right or left. This is about good versus evil. And we're all on each side. So we all got a choice to make. We can choose to heal or an eye for an eye until we're all blind and cannot see. And then the next bullet may be aimed at you, or it could be me.
Shout out. I like the way he ended that. I like that. I like the way he ended that. And I do want to just add this too. I am not necessarily in support of people losing their jobs and positions because of what they had to say about Charlie Kirk. But I'm also not in support of people losing their jobs because they don't want to support pronouns, or people losing their jobs because they say anything else. I don't know if we really want to go down that street of saying, hey, these type of words will cause you to lose your livelihood. I don't know, because particularly people on the right, we've been a victim of that for so long that I don't think it's the right thing to do now that the pendulum is swinging in the other direction, to run behind and try to, I don't want to say cancel, but cancel people that were trying to cancel us last week. I do think that could be a slippery slope that could put us in a really bad position. And of course, the worst position is where actual violence is involved. But even just the subtle canceling of people because they carry a view, I don't know if we really want to go down that road and legalize certain speech, make other speech illegal. I don't know if we really want to go down there and do that. I don't know, but let me know what you think. Do you think that these people losing their jobs was the right thing to do? And where were you in regards to the woman that was calling the little boy on the playground the hard R word, right? The N word. How about that one? Or where were you then with those kind of things. I think the attempts on people's lives, let's put those over to the side. But just the words. When somebody says something and they lose their job, or they don't want to say pronouns and they lose their job. Like, where were you with that? And then where are you with this? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Let's continue to do this again as soon as we can. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.